What's up, everybody? Bandit and Chad here for another Taco Tuesday. So this past weekend we did go down to Veterans Healing Farm. We did have a video go up on Sunday sharing that whole experience, but we do really appreciate all of the support for our YouTube channel, and we definitely gave back to a great cause. So thank you all for that and making that video possible. But while on the trip, my truck was having a little bit of an issue. So all of these newer Tacomas do run the Intune radio suite of apps and Bluetooth and everything like that, and my truck was refusing to connect to my phone. Now the Bluetooth on my phone was on, and the Bluetooth in the truck was supposedly trying to connect to my phone, but the only thing I could do was place a call. So if I opened Pandora on my phone and then hit the Bluetooth connectivity to play music, it would not do that. If I went in through apps through the truck and clicked Pandora or anything like that, that again would not work. So I didn't realize exactly what was going on at the time. I just knew I was really frustrated. Going 4 hours out of your way on a road trip, that's the perfect time to crank up some good tunes, and we couldn't exactly do that. So I broke out the old trusty CDs, which is definitely some old school technology there, but it did get us through. So I ended up getting back home and looking this issue up on Tacoma World, and it looks like a lot of you all have been experiencing issues with this in the past. So it looks like what happens is it's just too much data and too much Bluetooth memory, basically, going back and forth between your truck and your phone. So what I ended up having to do was clear out all of the settings in Bluetooth for the truck, clear out all of the Bluetooth settings in my phone, restart both of them, and repair everything. So it is a little bit of a hassle. This is the first time in 2 years of ownership that I've had to do this. I don't think you really use Pandora a whole lot, do you?
I have not used Pandora in my truck. There have been plenty of times where I have had my phone connected via Bluetooth and played some songs, whether it be through YouTube or anything that I may have had on my phone. But I have not had this issue yet. I haven't even had the issue where the head unit would kind of reset, which I'm waiting for that to happen, but maybe I had bought the truck after they fixed some of that. Who knows?
Right, and I have experienced a little bit of that. I did take it back to my dealer, and they just said that, I was running the current update or whatever, and, hopefully it would be fixed before, but that's not really overly helpful. A lot of people are experiencing issues with the head unit, and unfortunately this Toyota Intune head unit is used in a lot of Toyota vehicles, and I'm not really sure how Lexus works. I would assume it's a fairly similar system.
I think so.
But certainly the new craze now is going towards Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and I think it's for a good reason. I purchased a Toyota truck because I like the way the trucks are constructed. I really like the way Toyota manufactures vehicles, and I like normally the longevity of the vehicle. I don't necessarily buy a truck because I think that Toyota is a great app or head unit maker.
Right.
There's a lot of people that specialize in electronics. You could go back to Panasonic or something like that and get a Panasonic head unit. You could go a lot of different routes, but personally I think it's smartest to have the people that actually make your phone and make the apps for your phone come up with the head unit. Your phone and the truck have to communicate all the time, and it's only logical that those same people would make both things. It seems to make a lot of sense for me. Now, with the new Avalon and with the new Corolla hatchback and a lot of the newest of Toyota's vehicles coming out, we are starting to see Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it looks like it's going to be a while before that trickles down to the entire lineup. And also, I don't think that you're going to be able to, kind of retrofit, use your current head unit with the newer technology. I don't think it works like that, and I think you will have to go to a different head unit if you would decide that you want that technology, which is kind of a shame. I would love to see Toyota just kind of run a new update and make all of that possible, but it's not going to happen just yet, unfortunately. But we would really love to hear from you all what you all think of this head unit. Personally, I do really think it's great that we get navigation included on all of the TRD models of trucks, but when your head unit restarts all the time and when it struggles to connect in the first place, it does get a little bit frustrating, to say the least. So if you're having this issue with your truck, you go in here to settings and then Bluetooth settings, and then as you can see, Chad has multiple different phones linked in here. Then you'll hit remove and then just pick the one you want to remove. I'm not going to do that because his system is working just fine. And then you want to do a similar thing on your phone. Now, on everyone's phones, I'm sure it's different, but basically you just go into Bluetooth settings, hit forget all Bluetooth pairings, and just reset it up. But it seems like when you clear out some of this stuff, it does run a good bit better. So far, the past few days since I've gotten back, it's ran considerably better. But if anything changes, we'll be sure and keep you up to date with all of that. So in terms of some news this week, we know some more about the upcoming Power Stroke diesel in the F-150. Now, again, we talked about it in the past, but the power numbers for that are very, very similar to the Range Rover, Land Rover products because it is more or less the same 3-liter V6 diesel that is in those vehicles. It's very similar design. We're just calling this one a Power Stroke, and I'm sure they have a different name for those. I don't really keep up with the Land Rover news, but anyhow, they're saying that the fuel economy numbers are out for that, and it's 22 in the city, 30 on the highway for a combined of 25, and it also has still best-in-class payload and towing numbers. So this is really encouraging. It looks like it's going to be a very successful half-ton diesel if they can make it reliable and safe and everything like that. A lot of the news with the Ram Eco Diesel was not very great when that came out. It was not very consumer friendly, let's call it, or environmentally friendly or anything like that. So hopefully they can get all this worked out and we'll have a good, reliable choice for a half-ton diesel. And personally, I think this would make a great work truck, especially for a fleet truck or something like that. I think it'd be a really awesome setup. Now, we also have news regarding the transmissions that Ford and GM were building together. So, as you all are probably aware, GM and Ford paired together to make the 10-speed automatic that is going in a lot of the rear-wheel drive setups. So a lot of trucks, the new Camaro, the new Mustang, a lot of these new vehicles have the 10-speed. Now supposedly that 10-speed was mainly developed by Ford and then adapted to work with GM. GM was actually slotted to make a 9-speed automatic for front-wheel drive applications. So Ford was going to make the 10-speed for the rear-wheel drive applications for both companies. GM was going to make the 9-speed for front-wheel drive for both applications. Now, it's actually kind of interesting because the 9-speed is already going into several GM products and it seems to be doing really well. But Ford is saying that is too many gears, and they're going to take one of the gears and one of the clutch packs out and make that an 8-speed, which I think is kind of interesting because Ford came up with the 10-speed, right, but they think 9 gears are too many. So I'd love to hear your all's input on that, but it looks like they will still be sharing the majority of the architecture, majority of the packaging, and both of those transmissions will be coming out in more and more future vehicles. Now, speaking of other future vehicles, we have some information regarding some of Toyota's upcoming vehicles, right?
So recently, it was a Toyota Corolla sedan, right? The upcoming next generation Corolla sedan was spotted out driving around. So it looks pretty similar to the hatchback, just kind of changed around.
Right, it might be toned down a little bit. The hatchback is certainly a little bit sportier, right, but it was just seen with a very basic wrap. It was the camouflage wrap, but you can still see basically what it's going to look like.
Basically the shape, yeah. So it's not too many surprises that we think we're going to see in that. But we did also kind of got into the conversation of talking about other upcoming 2019 Toyota models. And so the Avalon was recently, you'll probably see several videos of those out. We already did see that and saw that, it's getting the same engine that's in this truck as well as lots of other Toyota products, just kind of adapted to a front-wheel drive setup. Power numbers changed a little bit, but it's still the D4S V6 that we have here in the truck. And the power numbers for that, I believe, are 301 horsepower and 263 pound-feet of torque, thereabouts.
Something like that, depending on the number of exhaust tips you have. Yes. Apparently that is very important when it comes to power output.
Yes, but that new Avalon does sound pretty good, especially in the Touring and XSE setup, just like the Camry does. I mean, it's the same engine, and I imagine the exhausts are probably just about the same thing as well.
I would guess so.
But another thing people have been kind of wondering about is there really going to be any changes in 2019 for the Toyota truck lineup? And we really don't think there is, other than the TRD Pro lineup that they kind of changed around a bit, such as the Tacoma getting a snorkel option that you can get from TRD, and then the Tundra coming back to the lineup as well. But past that, I really don't think the trucks are going to change all that much.
Now, you might see a couple different color options, right, and I think we've talked about that in the past, where it's going to be Voodoo Blue coming back, which was on the FJ Cruisers, and that'll be replacing the Cavalry Blue, which I'm kind of sad to see. I really enjoyed Cavalry Blue.
It was a nice color.
Yeah, I like it a lot. But if you do want a Cavalry Blue, be sure to snatch one of those up pretty quick, because I'm sure the 2019s will be rolling out here before too long.
Right. It'll only be maybe 3 or 4 months more that you'll see those on the lot. And speaking of seeing TRD Pros on the lot, if you did see our last Instagram picture, that's awesome. But if not, we did put one up. There was one on a local dealership lot, and we kind of wanted to get your opinion on that compared to the ZR2 as far as pricing and options and everything like that. So let us know what you think as far as that goes.
Right, so that pretty much wraps up everything we have to talk about for this week. Again, leave all your thoughts in the comments below. We do really enjoy reading those, and we'll be sure to respond to those as soon as we can. But thank you all very much for tuning in again for this week's Taco Tuesday. We do really appreciate all of the support. Thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Catch you next time.
See you guys.